So we're going to sail out of Welsford Landing today. This is an old ore dock that someone bought and they've turned it into a marina. Mr. Whitby there, the Hiawatha. Whitby used to be a tourist boat that used to go up and down the North Shore. Tiny bit of a wind off the shore. I'm hoping it'll run me out here to more open water. Charlie's been down here for a season or two now. They take tourists out, local folks out for day charters. Beautiful blue sky, and hoping to get out on the big lake for a little bit today. There's a marina on the other side of the pier here. He does have a lift to put boats in and out, and then has docks for, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 boats at the most. There used to be big metal chutes that would tip forward and load the ore boats, and Zach, who bought this, was up there for many years cutting those down with a cutting torch and a crane, selling out the metal for scrap. I can't imagine what that was like the first time he cut one loose. Not quite sure what the story is with the Miss Laura, but she's been sitting here for a few years now. I haven't seen them doing any work on it. They're doing some dredging out here. The harbor channel gets dredged to about 26 feet so that the Lakers and the ocean-going 1,000-footers can get into port. If I have a ways to motor, I find I can stand up here, even on the center board, just to take a break every once in a while. I do take my shut-off switch. I've got that back to a line, and I'll flip it back there on my life jacket. This is not at all the promised 10 to 15. Sail Flow and most other weather apps have a really tough time nailing what the wind's going to do in here. Today we're going to head out past the lighthouse. Sometimes we'll find some more consistent wind out there. So that's what I'm hoping for today. It's a beautiful picture of the Lake Superior Lighthouse ahead of us. Coming out in view of the lake. There's an ore boat over there. Duluth is off. Across that breakwater yet. We'll get a better view later. Again, on this side of the breakwall, the south shore of Lake Superior. It's a sand strip that runs probably 5 or 6 miles down the shore here. Again, it's a popular place for, it certainly doesn't see a ton of people, but it's a beautiful spot for people to come and hang out in the summertime. So I think we're gonna throw an anchor out here. Hey, if those kids can swim, I can. The water feels pretty good. So we'll pop the anchor out. It's probably no more than nice sand bottom, this whole end of the lake. I've got an anchor buddy on, 15 feet of chain and anchor buddy and 100 feet of rode. I don't think I'm going to need much of that today. This is my little fitting I put on there that just keeps my my jib sheets from tangling on when I'm tacking. There we go. All right. If the ladder doesn't work as well as it did in practice, well then I guess we're gonna swim to shore. Water's pretty nice right now. It can be Really comfortable. But if the wind's blowing offshore and you get an upwelling of cold water from the bottom of the big lake, it can be downright frigid in the middle of the summer. Time to mop up some of the water. I do have floorboards in here, which are kind of nice. Oh, not much, just a little bit to clean up there. Oh, there's some wind filling in here. Time to go sailing. One thing I've learned to do is to make sure I close the air, turn off the gas every time or any time I'm not using the motor and I'm bringing it up, especially tipping it up. I know Bill has had some issues with flooding, I think, if he doesn't do that on his Honda, and so I've never had a problem with that. So, but that's a practice that's worked pretty well. Probably most of you do that. There's a whole lot of water out here. Duluth is up ahead about 6 miles. We're just gonna putz around in this area for a little bit. If I don't stall myself out, let's get off the wind a little bit. If I'm paying attention, the sail doesn't look too bad. Wind's a little bit light, so I have the snodder eased a little bit to give it a little bit more depth to the sail. My self-steering system's pretty simple. I got a bungee cord wrapped around the tiller, running to a cleat on either side. But on a day like today, that's about all it takes to sail no-handed. We're running a pretty straight line here, and well, it wiggles and waggles a little bit. Keeps me in a pretty straight line. I think somebody once mentioned that that particular video shot makes them want to go to the bathroom. Haven't touched the tiller for about 10 minutes now. I'm guessing I could pretty much make it to the far shore without doing it. Doesn't always work in puffy, gusty winds, but when you get a nice steady breeze, it's pretty sweet. If I do want to steer a little bit when I have things locked in, I can also just use my weight again, just like with the motor, and turn off the wind, or head up into the wind. Boat's pretty sensitive to body weight. On a day like today, I could probably sit up here on the bow with my feet over each side of the sprit, lean one way or the other to steer if I needed to, and enjoy the sail from there. I'm not going to quite do that, but I am standing up by the mast and feel very comfortable on a day like this. And there's these guys. It's kind of like a jet plane flying overhead. These guys like Slocum and Spray, where they tie off the tiller, set their sails, and sleep for 8 hours. Basically sail in a straight line, and it seems pretty unbelievable, but a well-designed boat, because that's what I'm doing. And you can imagine on a bigger boat where body weight isn't going to matter as much. You can start to see how that would work. Heading back in the channel. A little wind around the corner here. We'll see how well I can do at tacking up through here today. Lots of gulls and cormorants hang out down here. We'll get some pelicans through here, which only when during migration season, which is kind of fun. Don't see them up here during the season. Choosing to tack up into a wind through the channel, that's a choice. The Navigator doesn't point great compared to other boats, but it does all right. It does all right, and as long as you're patient, have a little bit of time, and pay attention to the lifts and take advantage of them, we'll do okay. We're going to go past the channel here just to get a better angle on this next tack, so I can come around the corner of it. This is a nice little anchorage behind this break wall. There's enough depth back here that bigger boats can get in. You'll see some sailboats, cruisers come in and sometimes park here. Nice little beach. Good place to just stop and have a little lunch. Pretty well protected. The other thing you want to do before heading in is make sure your radio's been on, listening for security calls, make sure nobody's heading out. You don't really want to be caught in this channel with one of the Lakers coming through. The wind's been blowing offshore now, and it looks like I got some current going out, so that's going to make these tacks even harder. But we'll see how it goes. Tides in Lake Superior, but wind or pressure systems can stack water up on one end or the other of the lake, causing currents to run either direction in and out of the bay here. So yeah, looks like I might have made 10 feet on that tack. If I don't do better, we'll see. Okay, I actually lost ground on that one. All right, Mr. Honda's going to earn his keep. So I think I'm getting enough wind around the corner here to make a little bit of progress. So we're not going to. So here's what was going on in the Superior Entry. This was the open area up here, and then I hit the channel itself. And boy, I had one really good tack. I don't know what was going on there. And then a couple of times, no progress at all. So guess what happened right here? So that's that. Wow, a remarkable shift in the wind, and all of a sudden I'm going straight down the channel. Oh, yeah, that helped. I'll show you my track. It was getting pretty ugly. The Vista Star, which is one of the cruise boats that are the tourist boats that gets out here. And so we get to say hi to the tourists. It's starting to get pretty flat again. I think I've lost the best of the wind, so we may be putting things to bed. So when I'm ready to pack it up, I pop my jib sheets, roll up the head sail. A little trick that I learned somewhere along the road, that when I'm docking, especially if I'm docking single-handed, works really well. I'm going to take my stern line, which is secured there, as we approach the dock. I'll wrap that around the cleat on the dock with the motor running, barely running, enough to move me forward. And I'll cleat it off and leave the engine running. What happens is that forward propulsion keeps the nose of the boat up against the dock, so then I can step out with the bow line. Works nice, especially if there's a little wind trying to blow the nose off. Today that could happen, and not a real big issue, but I see another boat coming in, putting in here, so yeah, we'll go over here. Yeah, so then I can leave the engine running a little bit. It'll push the nose in to the dock, and I can step out and secure the bow line before I turn the motor off. So I'm going to grab this, come up to this cleat, hook it on, and stop the boat. My cleat on there. And then the motor just kind of, it's going to keep pushing forward. Motor's running. I'm going to push that out there a little bit. And then you'll see how the motor just pushes it back in towards the dock. I've done this with big boats, bigger boats too, and it works pretty well.